We all know the story of Moses. He was the child whose mother placed him in a basket, letting it drift among the reeds of the Nile, where the daughter of Pharaoh might see it and have compassion. His sister Miriam stood watch from the bulrushes, quick-witted and brave, suggesting their own mother as nurse to the infant prince. Thus the child destined to deliver Israel was raised both in the courts of Egypt and in the arms of his true mother. Even then, God was writing a story of deliverance, one that began with a mother's faith and a child's cry. Years later, that same child, now grown, fled from Egypt in shame after taking the life of an oppressor. He became a man in exile, a shepherd in Midian, until the day he came to Mount Horeb, the mountain of God. There, in a bush that burned yet was not consumed, he encountered the voice of the Eternal. The Midrash Shemot, Rabbah tells that God chose the lowly thorn bush so Moses would understand that the Almighty dwells even in suffering. The Quran, in Surah Taha, recalls that God called to him from the right side of the valley, in the blessed ground near the tree, saying, "O Moses, I am your Lord." That was the beginning of faith's transformation, the meeting where hesitation gave way to calling. Moses was not bold. He argued that he could not speak, that the people would not listen. Yet from that single encounter he learned the first lesson of faith, that obedience matters more than ability. God promised, "I will be with you." And even when Aaron was appointed to speak, the mission remained Moses' own. That promise sustained him through defiance, darkness, and the long testing of faith. When Moses returned to Egypt, the plagues that followed were not merely acts of judgment, but trials of trust. To stand before Pharaoh and proclaim disaster required courage beyond sight. Each time, Moses spoke with no guarantee except the memory of the flame and the word of the one who had spoken from it. Then came the night of terror and mercy, the death of the firstborn. Across Egypt, the cry of grief rose like a storm, but the homes of Israel stood guarded by blood. Each family marked its doorway with the blood of the lamb. The destroyer passed over them. It was not ritual that saved them, but faith to obey what seemed absurd, faith to trust the unseen promise. And where did that faith begin? In the wilderness, at the bush that burned, one meeting that taught a man to listen when God speaks.
We have all been in that wilderness. Did God speak? Please comment below.